all the blessings he has blessed to us, to our family, and words cannot explain what he has given, and every breath is a shukrana for him. So Anandam Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. So I'll start with how we got connected with Guruji. So it was, I think, 2015. We got my wife, or we say auntie, we have a common friend. They used to go to the temple, and we used to live in Edison, and they used to come from Lawrenceville, Anu auntie and Praveen uncle. So thank you for them to connecting us with Guruji. So they said just once कि हम temple जाते हैं, तुम आ जाओ, you live in Edison. So my wife, being a friend, and just to honor that request, she just went once, and I was just home alone, and it was a good time for me, home alone, but yeah. So slowly and surely, then she asked me one day, would you like to come to the temple? I said, yeah, why not? Because since childhood, I used to go to Anandpur Sahib, so I've always connected with some kind of guru. So I know I was blessed to, since childhood, to be connected to some guru form and understand what guru do and what he can do for you. So I was never against it. So I just went along with her, and as soon as I just bowed down to in front of him, and I saw his Swaroop, and I just realized he's the same. There is no difference over here. So Jai Guruji, and we started going, and the journey started. But faith was not there. I was not, I would say, connected right away. It was not the love at first sight. It took time. It took grow on me, little by little. We used to go every week, Thursday, for and listen to Shabbats and Satsangs also at that point. So जैसे गुरुजी कहते हैं कि मैं तुम्हें पहले हेल्थ बख्शता, वेल्थ बख्शता, फिर तुम्हारा कल्याण करदा. तो as being immigrants here, everyone has a very common problem, immigration. So we were going through that issue again. And 2015, I think my wife was, she is little like that, कि okay, Guruji hai, okay, आप मेरा green card करो तो जानू. Like we are testing Guruji, like how novice we are testing him. And being so kind and so thing he is, one fine day and Thursday, some auntie standing on the Edison Temple, and she's sharing her green card journey in the satsang. And next thing we know is that we get a text that your GC is approved and card is in the mail. So Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. So this is still I'm not connected. I'm like, this is the first incident happened. It's okay. Coincidences happen, but we say there's no coincidences in Guruji's world. So today being Mother Day, sorry, I forgot to Happy Mother's Day, Guruji, and Happy Mother's to all the beautiful moms. So why parents and auntie said ki we love our parents unconditionally, but Guru loves us more unconditionally, right? So we used to go to the temple, and one fine day, my son, my wife took him to the haircut, and the lady said ki there is some bump in back of her head. You guys should check it out. And being parents, we got so nervous at that point. He's small. I think he was 3-year-old, my son, at that point of time. So we were so worried. I started calling all the doctors, and we started taking appointments, and we could not get any appointment with any doctor at that point of time. So no consultation in Guruji's Darbar. That Thursday, we again went to Guruji. We bowed down. One auntie shared a satsang. She was from Canada, that his son was having some issues, and how Guruji blessed his son and how he healed him. And at that moment, I just got connected with him. It was just, that was the moment for me as a dad saying, Guruji is here. So we took him, and he was perfectly fine. So then journey started. We started going more and more often, and incidents keep happening every time. Somebody will share something and we get our messages, we come back home happy. But the biggest blessings what Guruji has provided us is my dad. Uh, I think I would say he got a rebirth, sort of. So it was a COVID time, I think back in November, a couple of years back. And we all know how the wave was, how bad it was. And I was being here, I could not help. So one fine day I got a call from my mom कि पापा को कोविड हो गया है. I said, okay, isolate him. We need to do all the protocols, so you just monitor him. And Guruji to hai hi sahi. So we started monitoring him, and his condition started becoming worse and worse and worse. So he has to get admitted to hospital. So he was hospitalized to a COVID hospital, which is isolated one, so no one can go and visit at that point of time. So my brother used to fight with all the doctors that I want to see him. He's my dad. And me being here, doing nothing, and there was no flight, I think, at that point. No, we cannot fly. We cannot do much at that point of time. So only thing came into mind was surrender, surrender, surrender. So he was there in hospital. Couple of days he was fine, and then it started becoming more worse for him. I think his lung was more damaged. I think it was about 80% at that point of time. So the doctor said on the phone, because nobody was able to visit him, ki, whatever God you believe in, start praying, because we don't know what would happen next now. So we have heard this line in ये बहुत ही फिल्मी डायलॉग है कि बस अब तुम जहाँ दुआ ही काम करती है. So it was November, and I think there was Chalya, Guru Nanak Dev Ji ka Chalya chal raha tha us waqt. So doing nothing and being the eldest kid in the house, I felt so helpless at that point of time. So I said, Guruji, aap dekho. And every single morning, I used to play a playlist, Amrit Vela playlist, and 4 o'clock, 3:45 in the morning in my house, I'll just sit with Guruji and pray for him. And I used to share link with my dad all the time for all the playlist, all the Shabbats, what we are listening, and at that point of time. So he is being in hospital, he cannot watch those, he cannot see those, but he knew that something was going on. My son is praying, and he wanted to watch those. So he requested nurse, can I see this? Can you allow me my phone? And the nurse immediately said, what are you talking about? It's a hospital. You're not allowed to have phone. So he's like, no, US में मेरा बेटा मेरे लिए प्रे कर रहा है, अमृत वेला चलिया चल रहा है, मुझे सत्संग सुनना है. So she said कि तुम क्या बात कर रहे हो, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहा, तुम मुझे अपना फ़ोन दिखाओ, फ़ोन दो मुझे. Then as soon as she took the phone and she saw Guruji, she's like, ये तो मेरे Guruji हैं. He is my Guru. So that was, my dad said, okay. So she made sure at that point of time that my dad was allowed to have that phone for that brief moment when the satsang was going on, and she would come and watch with him all the time personally. So then she also instructed that if I'm not on duty, anybody else who could come as her replacement will allow him to watch those satsangs at that point of time. So it keeps going, and every day it was, he was hospitalized for 29 days. So every day he used to watch, I used to send playlist, he used to listen. So one fine day in the morning, again I'm sitting with Guruji in the morning in my household, and I got a call from him, and I cannot hear his voice. It's a WhatsApp call, and it was very muffled voice, but I can just barely understand the words, what he's trying to speak. So at that moment, I thought this is my last conversations happening with him. And I was hysterical, I got panicked. I said, you hold on. So I grabbed my wife's phone and I called my brother. So he's like, what are you talking about? I just stepped out. I just met him. He was perfectly fine. I said, no, I'm speaking to him and he cannot speak a word. He's out of breath right now. There's no oxygen level. So he rushed back, and then he was obviously not uh, allowed to enter that premise. And he's outside, and he fought with the whoever was outside, I don't remember. He's like, I'm going to wear any kit, what you're going to provide me, but I'm going to go and see my dad inside right now. So he went, he saw him, and he was fine after a while. He just wanted to speak to me because he was not allowed, and he just got in a moment of opportunity that he can speak to me. So again, the next day, same thing happened. He's listening to Shabad, and what I used to do is कि just हम बोलते हैं ये आरती थाली है, ये गुरुजी की जोत है. It's a divine thing. What he has experienced is कि when he was watching that over the FaceTime, or I don't recollect the medium, but when I was giving the Aarti, he saw a divine light, a white light in front of him, and he literally saw in his that somebody is pulling him out, that somebody is protecting him, like holding his hand like this, and saying, "Tu chal mere naal." So, and then he woke up with that, and he's like, "Guruji aaye the." I said, "Jai Guruji, Guruji aaye the." So next day, again same routine happening. He's listening to Shabads. He's getting little better over time, and by Guruji's grace, he recovered, and then he was moved to another non-COVID ward, which is non-ICU. Then as soon as he was shifted back to that ward, and then he used to send, because he was allowed a phone, so he was playing, he was sending selfie every single day. So it's okay. It was his routine every single day. He would just to click key. Everybody is worried about me, so if they see me, they will feel better about it. So as soon as he was shifted to the other ward and he sends a selfie to us in our family group, my wife immediately says, "Papa, आपने देखा आपका bed number क्या है?" He was so weak, he doesn't even know. He was just lying. He was just taking this like this. So his bed number was 7 at that point of time. So Guruji was the whole journey holding his hand and protecting him every step of the way. And after there, he shared his satsangs also, that he, being it with the nurse, Guruji came, being it with the bed number 7, Guruji was there. So Guruji was showing his presence all along. And he was saying to me, "Main hu naal tere." So that's how our Guruji is. If you surrender, which is very difficult, and I'm still learning how to surrender myself, but if you do, he takes care of you, irrespective of what you are doing or not doing. And as Auntie said, unconditional love, what he has towards us is that he takes all our karam on him. So how blessed we are that we have this Guru who is so, we are lucky and blessed. And so last year we went to home, India, and we did first satsang at our of Guruji at my home, back home in Indore. So he is the one who brought all the flowers for Guruji. He is the one who did all the shukrana. He did all the decorations, being making an om, being making ek onkar, with everything. He did it with his in hand because he wanted to say his shukrana for his blessing him a new life. So whatever I say, it's so less. So just Shukrana Guruji, Anantam Shukrana Guruji Maharaj ka for blessing us and be with us all the time. Thank you Guruji, Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji.